Chiefs or die! Final score from Arrowhead Stadium. Your Kansas City Chiefs, 27. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 17. In a game where your Kansas City Chiefs advanced to 7-2, the number 1 seed in the AFC. With 8 games left in the season, your Kansas City Chiefs control their destiny to have home field advantage again at Arrowhead Stadium, a place where only Patrick freaking Mahomes has ever played his playoff football. Now people might be saying, hold on, Shaggy. 8 games left in the season is quite a long time. But now, the Chiefs are only getting better. Let's get right to it. The Chiefs, right now, offensively and defensively, are getting better. While the team right with the Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, because I'm slipping. Yes, they're slipping. They're now 1 game behind the Chiefs. And the Buffalo Bills, this is the Chiefs post game. We're going to get to the Chiefs stuff, but I just watched the last 40 minutes of that Buffalo game after the Chiefs ended. Buffalo's getting gashed on the ground. I mean, I brought up the fact the Chiefs were getting gashed on the ground the last 4 weeks until last week in the second half. The Bills are getting destroyed on the ground, and they gave up 180 yards or 190 yards to Jefferson, the Vikings receiver. The Bills got some problems while the Chiefs are on the rise. November football, where Patrick Mahomes excels. He excels. Patrick Mahomes has never lost a home regular season game in his career at Arrowhead in November and December. Now people might be saying, I don't know, but about that Charger game in 2020, he didn't play. Now, the Chiefs more than likely will not go 15-2. But where we stand now is a hell of a lot better where we stood 1 year ago at this time. 1 year ago at this time, the Chiefs just won their second game in a row to go 5-4. This year, 1 year later, we're 7-2. We control our fate with 8 games left to be the number 1 seed. First, now I want to get some props, okay? Props and some shouts to some good friends of mine who went to the game, who came from out of town. Chris Pearson, love you, brother. You came all the way from Lincoln, Nebraska. I hope you and your family had a good time, man. I appreciate your support on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You're a hell of a guy, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, Chris. You're a great dude. And Derek Link, Officer Derek Link, who you saw me on the schedule release show last May. Derek came from California. He brought 13 people with him, went to the game. Shouts out to you, Derek. Way to go. Way to represent. I hope you and your family had a blast. I bet you did. Way to go. Now let's get to this game of your Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, for the first time in a long time, think about it. The Chiefs lost the turnover battle 3-0. The Chiefs gave up an onside kick at the beginning of the game. If you would have said the Chiefs are going to lose the turnover battle 3-0 and give up an onside kick on the first play of the game, I would have said, man, this game's going to be tight. But Patrick Mahomes really delivered. Patrick Mahomes in this offense really delivered, especially with the new weapon. Not Cheetah, Kadarius Toney the Tiger. Let me say it again for y'all. Not Cheetah, Kadarius Toney the Tiger. Man, he stepped up and he stepped out, and he freaking continues to show why the Chiefs picked him up. Let's look at these stats for your Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes was 26 of 35, 331 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Man, he was unstoppable, just like Patrick Mahomes does. Do I need to say more about Patrick Mahomes? No, but I will. He's the best quarterback in the National Football League. He's clutch. Isaiah Pacheco had 16 carries for 82 yards. He fumbled on the first drive. You thought, oh, wow, this is bad. He's a rookie. He fumbled, but he regrouped and played well. Kareem Hunt fumbled his first drive of the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017 and then got better. Isaiah Pacheco fumbled his first drive with the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he's getting better. I'd still like us to play more Rojo. Patrick Mahomes was play Rojo. Patrick Mahomes was a second carry with 7 carries for 39 yards. Kadarius Toney had 2 carries for 33 yards. Kadarius Toney, the Tiger. Jerick McKinnon had 1 for 2, and Michael Burton had 1 for -1. Opposing defenses are recognizing Michael Burton on 3rd and inches. That's not working. You might have to try something else. Travis Kelce had 6 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. MVS had 3 for 60 and a touchdown. Kadarius Toney had 4 for 57 and a touchdown. Those are your leading receivers right there, baby. Jerick McKinnon had 6 for 56. Juju had 2 for 33. Noah Gray had 2 for 20 and a touchdown. Justin Watson had 1 for 12. Jody Fortson 1 for 6. Sky Moore 1 for 6. 2 things I want to get to. Juju Smith-Schuster got knocked out. It didn't look good. He went right to the locker room. They had to help walk him. I don't know if his availability for next week. So we'll have to see his availability for next week, but there's a chance he could not play. And Sky Moore wasn't even on the field until Juju Smith-Schuster got hurt. Once Juju Smith-Schuster was gone for the rest of the game in the second quarter, Sky Moore got on the field. It's a concern if we don't have Juju next week, but way to step up MVS and Kadarius. Willie Gay had a sack. Trent McDuffie was solid. He was solid. He had 4 tackles and 3 assists. Nick Bolton and Willie Gay was the leading tackler with 6, and had a sack. Let me see here, and it looks like, let me look at the defense here, because Colin Saunders had another sack, and Carlos Dunlap had half a sack. He only needed a half to get 100. Congratulations, Carlos Dunlap. You now have 100 sacks in your NFL career. Keep growing, keep learning. The Chiefs on defense, for the most part, they played good. They were bend but don't break. The Jaguars had the ball. It seemed like every possession but one. They had the ball. They drove through the fifth on the other side of the Chiefs 50, and the Chiefs defense played well. George Karlaftis has yet to have a sack. I'm wearing the 56. We're in the 56 right now for Karlaftis. There was concern about, from fans like thinking he could be a bust. Why isn't Karlaftis do anything? He's a bust. If you watched my pregame here with Stargate Media, we had former Kansas City Chiefs offensive lineman Rich Baldinger, who played offensive line for the Chiefs from 1983 through the 1992 season. And I presented that question to him. I said, Rich, when you were on the Kansas City Chiefs in 1988, the Chiefs went 4-12. But in that year, in 1988, the Kansas City Chiefs drafted Neil Smith, second overall, and he only had 2.5 sacks, and the Chiefs were still bad. It was the year before Marty. So there was some concern as the Chiefs continued to lose, like, man, why with the second overall pick in the draft did we get this bust out of Nebraska? We should have got Michael Irvin out of Miami. He went all the way. He slipped down to 11. We could have had at least explosive wide receiver, but we took this bust, Neil Smith. Neil Smith learned from his rookie season and then got better. Granted, Marty Schottenheimer and Derek Thomas came the very next season, and he had somebody to learn from. But what Rich Baldinger said that got my attention is he said he realized that Neil Smith, what Rich Baldinger said with his experience being on the Chiefs, he said Neil Smith realized how tough the game was going to be, so it made him work even harder and grow. And keep in mind, there was a lot of pressure on Neil Smith. He was the second overall pick in 1988. I was 18 when we drafted him, I remember. But Neil Smith was able to turn it around and grow and had a great career. And I expect the same from George Karlaftis. He's still getting after it. That's what Rich Baldinger said too. He's still getting after it. He's not discouraged. He's not hanging his head. He's not taking plays off. He's still trying. So let's not knock Karlaftis too hard yet. He will learn. But Trent McDuffie's came in, and he's been a pretty dang good corner. He did give up a couple of catches today, but he's still playing at a super-duper high level. So props to the Chiefs' defense. But, folks, people want the Chiefs to sign Ndamukong Suh. I would like that because I think Ndamukong Suh is going to go somewhere. And the people want Chiefs to sign Odell Beckham Jr. I'm just going to trust Brett Veach on it. I would lean towards Ndamukong Suh, but Colin Saunders is freaking playing his butt off. Colin Saunders is playing defensive tackle like he knows the Chiefs are about to call Ndamukong Suh. What we're seeing out of Colin Saunders is something I haven't seen a defensive tackle play since Dan Salimua. So I'm definitely stoked to see Colin Saunders play. If our defense keeps playing like they are and putting the opposing quarterbacks under duress, then I love the Chiefs' chances of staying pat where they are. They got rookies. They got Leo Chenal. He had his first NFL sack today. There's so many kids playing. Joshua Williams had another solid game. Snead gave up a touchdown, but he's still the veteran presence that you need in that secondary with 3 rookie cornerbacks. So I'm definitely stoked about where this team is for the long term. And Kadarius Toney's only 23, and we got him under contract for the next 3 years. The dude's a badass. Look at my video that I posted above on my YouTube, from Tyreek to Kadarius. Now, people might be saying, hold on, Shaggy. That's a lot of pressure to put on some kid who just came here. Yeah, he was a number 1 draft pick with the Giants, but Kadarius knew the Chiefs wanted him before that draft in April, 18 months ago, and the Chiefs got him. Only had to give up a compensatory third and conditional third and 6th round draft pick. Oh, gosh, the kid's a stud. Now, the Chiefs are going to go play the Los Angeles Not-So-Superchargers next Sunday on NBC. As of right now, we don't know what the Chargers' record is going to be. They're still going to either be 1 game behind us or the 49ers are going to win and put them 2 games behind us. Regardless of what happens tonight, the Chiefs can put a lot of separation between themselves and the Chargers. Regardless of what happens tonight between the Chargers and 49ers, I'm going to say it one more time. The Chiefs can put a stamp on the AFC West with a win next Sunday in prime time. The Chargers are beat up. Since Herbert took that beating at Arrowhead on the second game of the season, the Chiefs home opener, he really hasn't been the same. They fluked out and won a couple of close games at Cleveland and at Atlanta. But for the most part, I like the Chiefs. I really do like the Chiefs next week. You guys, this team is so much better than last year. Again, last year we went on that 8-game winning streak and put us as the 2nd seed in the AFC. But this team is young. There's so many rookies. There's 8 rookies on the defense. And now we got Pacheco finally getting some positive reps. I'd still like to see Rojo play. Rojo needs to be active. Clyde Edwards-Helaire only had 4 snaps, 4 offensive snaps this game. Arrowhead Stadium's 4 miles from my house, which I'll be at 2 weeks to watch the Chiefs and the Rams. But we're thinking of the Chargers. But Arrowhead Stadium, you know it's only a short drive to the countryside. Where you going? You can't run and hide. So many questions. Questions like, dang, what happened to the Buffalo Bills defense? Yeah, Von Miller's getting a lot of sacks, but they're getting gashed. Who's taking advantage of that? Who's taking advantage of that? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is clutch in overtime. He wins. Did Josh Allen win? He was tough, but he didn't win. This guy's the MVP. Look at the stats. After the show ends, go look at the stats. This is your MVP. Most valuable, Patrick Mahomes. Look up the stats. You're the man, buddy. Keep kicking ass and taking names and being the face of the National Football League. All right, folks. Tune into Arrowhead Allies right here on my YouTube page Tuesday night, and we'll talk Chiefs Chargers, and we'll talk more of Kadarius Toney, being Kadarius Toney the Tiger. Not Cheetah. Not Cheetah. Kadarius Toney the Tiger. The dude's freaking great, and I love him. I freaking love him. Way to go, guys. Until Tuesday on Arrowhead Allies, this is Shaggyshane saying, go Chiefs.